Hey y'all. Today's date is June 3rd, 2010. It's approximately 4:02 in the afternoon, and I am in Singapore. We made it safely. We got here Monday, but had some difficulty, so I couldn't record this sooner. I wish I had, but I didn't have internet, so couldn't do that. But we are here in Singapore and it is absolutely awesome. I'm so glad to be here. It was a long flight. It was about 24 hours total. It's about 2 hours from Raleigh to Houston, about 11, 12 hours from Houston to Russia, and then from Russia to Singapore was probably about 10 hours. So it was probably about 24 hours total, marathon flying, but we made it, and I'm so glad that we did. It was a safe trip. Turbulence wasn't too bad. I slept about 4 hours on the Russia flight, about 4 hours on the Singapore flight, so it wasn't too bad. But going to Russia was truly an experience. We were in Moscow. That's where the plane landed, and honestly, I felt like I was in the USSR. Although the USSR has been gone for about 20 years, that rigidness was still there in the people and in the airport staff, and that might be just because the airport staff, because I know the TSA people in the U.S. are very rigid too. But we made it through. We made it through. There, they went through security again while we were there, and they checked our passports twice within like two stops. We checked it to go through security, and right after we went through security, they checked it again. So they're really, really rigid. And then we got followed around the store, but it didn't really surprise me because I'm used to being followed around stores back in the U.S. Unfortunately, but y'all know how that goes. So the food on the plane was really, really good. We had a lot of dishes native to Singapore, native to Asia, because we flew on Singapore Airlines. So we had full breakfast, full dinners, full lunches, full of rice and noodles and meat. It was really, really good. And although it only came in a box like this big, not like that. Although it was in a really small box, it was really filling, oddly, and they had a whole bunch of entertainment stuff on in the back of the seats and little TVs so you could watch movies, television shows. A lot of people were watching Glee. I wasn't, but had my iPod. I had a couple of books to read, so I was doing that. So made it through, and I'm so glad to be here. As I said, we got here. It was Monday at about 5:30 a.m., which would have been Saturday about 5:30 p.m. back in North Carolina. We came to our dorm, which is called Prince George Park Residences. Um, I'm actually sitting in my room right now, and actually, as bright as it is in here, the lights are actually off. There's not a light on in here. So, since we're talking about PGP, is what they call it. Let me show you my room. So, I'm sitting at the desk right now, and that's my bed right there. I have a little sheet on it. Behind that's the bathroom, but my computer's plugged in, so I can't show you the bathroom. But see out the window, because that's the water. There's water out there, because Singapore is out there also. Um, Behind the conditioning unit, because here they live by air conditioning. They're efficient. They're energy efficient for a lot of things, but air conditioning is not one of them. They live by air conditioning, and I thank God that they do. As bad as it is for the environment, and as much as I love our environment, I thank God they live by air conditioning because it's so hot. We stepped off the plane and into the airport, and it was all right. But as soon as we stepped out of the airport, it was like a wall of humidity just hit us like a brick wall. So I'm glad that they use air conditioning here because every day is like 100-degree North Carolina day every single day. So when I got here from class, I just took off all my clothes, and that's why I'm in a t-shirt and shorts, which is what I'd be lounging around in at my house right now. Um, when we first got here, we went to the Jurong Bird Park, so we saw a whole bunch of birds. That was nice. After that, we went to the mall, and the mall we went to was Jurong Mall, and it was absolutely huge. It was 4 stories, and it was so crowded. There were so many different stores. They even had a store like Walmart in there, which is really cool. So I ended up buying a shaver there, but it didn't work because of the hair type that I have. Black people, y'all know what I'm talking about. But it did not work on my hair, so I tried to return it. They wouldn't return it, but it was worth the old college try, as they say. It just didn't work, so I had to buy another one that was more expensive. I wish I just bought the more expensive one to begin with, but it is what it is. You live and you learn. So, I, as a result of trying of that whole debacle, I did learn how to navigate the bus system and the train system here, because in North Carolina, I would never probably end up having to use public transportation. As a matter of fact, I have not ridden the cat bus in Raleigh. The only public transportation I've actually had to use in North Carolina is the Chapel Hill bus to catch the U and the RU or the NU and maybe the G to University Mall and the TTA to South Point. That's probably about it. So using public transportation here has truly been an experience, but a good one. A good one. It was fun to strike out on my own. I'll probably be doing it sometime in the near future. And so today was the first day of class. We have two classes, one on the history of Southeast Asia and one on the religion and globalization of Southeast Asia. We have both classes back to back. Each one is an hour and a half. So class started this morning at 9 o'clock in the morning, and class ended at noon. The professor we have for the history class is a professor out of NUS, the National University of Singapore, and she's really funny. She's of Chinese descent. Chinese make up 75% of the population of Singapore, but she is of Chinese descent, and she was really good. She's really funny, really humorous, really truthful in everything that she says. So she was talking about society here and how the government tends to be rigid. They're a rigid government, but as a result, they're flourishing. They're flourishing, and the economy is on the upward trend. So that's really good. And we had the other lady who's from UNC talk about the religions portion, and she talked about that. So had class outside. It was really hot and sticky, but afterwards we went to go eat, so that was good. Food here is so cheap though. I bought breakfast for $4 Singaporean, which is would probably be about $3 US, and it filled me up just as much as a US breakfast would. Food here is so cheap. As a matter of fact, people that live here don't even pack lunch. They just um, eat in the cafeteria, the food court, because it's so cheap. So overall, I've thoroughly enjoyed myself, getting used to the fellow group members, getting to know them more and more, because I did not know most of them before uh, I found out about this and before we all got into this program. So now that we're all here, I'm just learning more about them, and in the process, I'm learning more about myself too. So my time is about up, but I look forward to seeing what the rest of this trip has to offer, and I'm just so excited to delve right into it. So keep me in your thoughts, keep me in your prayers, and I'll do the same for you. Talk to y'all later. Bye.